Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a 20-piece special series launch for 2015. This is the Bethune DB25 Quetzalcoatl, dedicated to the Aztec feathered serpent god. You can see it is entirely hand sculpted on the dial side. 44 millimeters in white gold and only 10.9 millimeters thick. It's 51 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip with a 24 millimeter spacing between the lugs. It is a very, very flat, thin, and broad timepiece. You can see on my wrist of 16 centimeters circumference it fits, though I would opine that the watch is probably ideal for a wrist no smaller than 15 centimeters circumference. It is a big thing, though with a domed bezel and exceptionally slim sub 11 millimeter thickness, it will slide easily underneath the dress cuff. Now the timepiece is handsome, flat, almost like a large sprawling disc across the wrist. Taking a look at the strap, you can see it is large rectangular scale alligator leather in medium brown with a monotone stitch. You can see it features a broad folded edge, and on the underside it is more alligator leather, small round scale. This is something we're seeing increasingly on truly high-end timepieces. Gator on both sides, because though more expensive, it lasts longer. A quirk of this watch is that these were issued with white gold cases, but titanium pin buckles, and you can see that right there. Jumping over to the case profile, this is why I often recommend the DB25 for newcomers to the Bethune brand. A lot of them don't like the floating lugs and open dials of the DB28 and 27 series, so I recommend you go for a 25, which has conventional lugs and generally solid dials, and that's exactly what we have here. There are some character lines that distinguish the case, and you can see there's a domed outer face to the crown with drilled double row knurling. There's a little bit of a cabochon or bullet shape to the end of the lugs, which, as you can see, are evacuated, open, and skeletal. That little bullet shape is the last styling vestige of the original 2002 DB1 chronograph, the only design element that remains on the later watches, but it is almost universal on Bethune timepieces. Now, the dial depicts the feathered serpent, and there's quite a lot going on. This is a freehand engraved miniature sculpture by Michel Rotin, who is the in-house engraver at Bethune. They make their own dials, cases, and movements, and yes, they maintain their own gem setting and engraving in-house. The head represents the hours, the tail represents the minutes, and you can see it's sitting at the center of a sort of amphitheater that's flanked on all sides by little hand-engraved temples representing the hours. You can also see there's a golden concentric pattern at center. Flip it all over, we have Bethune caliber 2005 manufacturer movement manual wind 6-day power reserve. It has 1, 2, 3 shock protection springs for the balance, a 2-element hand-shaped flat hairspring that breathes concentrically like an overcoil, but is flat and shock resistant like a flat hairspring. We have a balance that is a yoke made of titanium. It's cruciform rather than circular, and then it has platinum mass as outboard. The idea is that as much of the mass as possible is in the rim, which is good for chronometry, and then also this is a way of minimizing the effect of temperature, hot or cold, on the timing of the watch. You can also see that there is a silicone escape wheel, which helps to reduce friction and extend power reserve. 2 barrels, self-adjusting, that's patented. The blued titanium of the balance, that's patented. The balance itself is patented. The 2-element clamped hairspring is patented, and then so is the triple parachute shock protection. As you can see, there's a little temple on the reverse side. This one is an exceptionally low serial number. How low can you go? Use your imagination. You can see continuous black polish, specular finish on the fully rounded balance bridge. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, so no gimmicks are played with the beat rate to get the long power reserve. You can see the lovely abrasive wheel coat Bethune down the center of the barrel bridge. You can see black polish in abundance on the base of the movement, as well as the spring structure for the triple parachute. And if you look closely, you can see that there's mile-wide mirrored anglage. So the watch is exceptionally progressive in its engineering and design, but very traditional in its finish, right down to the black polished screw heads with chamfered slots and circumference. You could see that the spring arms have even been beveled on their sides and black polished on their tops. All of this water resistant down to 30 meters. A very collectible watch from a brand on the move, and a true example of handmade craft art that you can wear. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this 6-day hand-sculpted timepiece.